Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Sunday the 31st of May, and tomorrow we start back at school. Will be week 6, and we don't have a significant update from the New South Wales Government or from the Department of Education this week, so we will be using the same routines as we did in week 5. Any of the small little teething issues we feel we've worked through fairly well, and for anyone that's not exactly sure what's happening, last week's video really did outline what's happening for each stage of our school, both in morning and in afternoons, and how we're running during the day as well. And on Monday afternoon, the kids took home a pamphlet which outlined all that in writing as well, and you can find that on our school website through the tab just beside here that says Notes Home to Parents. So for us, it's much the same as last week. We're still going to have the split lunch shifts, split recess shifts. We still can't have visitors to the school sites. We'll be manning the gates in the morning. Kids get into through any of those gates, but in the afternoon we have assigned gates. There are a few little things though that just might make life easier for everyone. So one thing to remember is that late students in the morning create a real problem, and of course I have some flexibility at Copeland Road because I don't have to rush straight up to class, but the teachers that are managing the other gates do actually have to get to class at 8:55, so they need to lock those gates and head off to the classroom. So our school starts at 8:55. It's really important that the kids arrive between 8:25 and 8:55. We can't have students on site prior to 8:25 because there actually isn't any staff supervision before that time. Anyone arriving after 8:55 is creating a real challenge for us because of the amount of traffic in the office and how we get those students to class. So if you can help us out with that, that'd be just fantastic. And similarly, at the other end of the day, it's not really possible for kids to go home early. They are required at school between 8:55 and 2:55, and because we're doing all the mustering in the afternoon to get the students into the correct groups, very, very hard for us to pull a child out of that group and have the sufficient staff availability to run around and work out where all the kids are. So if you can help us with that, that would just be absolutely fantastic for us. The other thing that might make life a bit easier for everyone is ordering from our canteen via their app. The app's called Flexi Schools. So if you go to either your app store or to the Play Store, download Flexi Schools, and there's a way that you can register using your email address, tell them that your kids go to Lethbridge Park School, and you can do all of your ordering online after you've purchased some credit. That will make life much simpler for you. The other way to do it is, of course, for the kids to bring their order in, but that does need to be fairly organised, and it's, again, something that's quite hard for us to manage on the street in the morning if we have a lot of those orders to do. So probably the app's the way to go. We have had some parents who have needed to make some payments to school, and normally we do those over the counter, but without trying to encourage visitors, using the Make a Payment tab at the top of our school website is probably the best way to do that as well, and that would make life much simpler for all of us. I guess the last thing we've realised throughout this last stage of our managed return to school is we've had some comments by our neighbours around how the streets are being used, particularly in terms of parking and the change in the traffic flow. So if it is possible to walk, I think that would be a great idea for us to try to thin out some of the vehicle movements around the schools, and to just be mindful of just not only the road rules but also our neighbours getting in and out of their houses and not parking across their driveways or on the footpaths. That would be really helpful for us. Other than that, hopefully school will be much the same as last week. We feel it likely that as we get into week 7, we'll have some changes with our school routines, but obviously we're still waiting advice from the department. So from everyone here at Lethbridge Park School, I hope you had a great weekend, and week 6 is looking pretty good for us. We don't yet know about things like school assemblies or changes to PWSA, but as always, as soon as we know, we'll let you know.